not quite sure how to disassemble it. Yeah, since this is kind of like a custom thing, so.
Okay.
So if I could help disassembling it and putting it back in.
Great, thank you. So Kim, are you ready with your lamp?
I am. So I have a salt lamp, and it seems fairly intact, really. And it has a dimmer. Let me get this dimmer. This kind of circle dimmer I can turn on and off. And one day it just stopped working when I clicked it on. And so I got a new bulb and put the new bulb in and plugged it in and clicked it on, and nothing happened. So that's what I'm here with.
All right, thank you.
Howdy, can you start recording, please? We forgot.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
Well.
All right, Margaret, are you ready with your lamp? Looking through the list, I don't see Margaret. Maybe we don't have her today. So Cherry, do you have your lamp ready?
This is a halogen lamp that has a lava attachment, and I really like it for that reason. And so I just figured out how to take this portion out to change the bulb, because the bulb went out. But then at the bottom of the lamp, there's one section that doesn't have any screw grooves, and so it causes the base to kind of be swivelly. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, if I need to weld this portion. I have Gorilla Tape on it right now, but I want to figure out if I need to weld it, or I don't know, make some grooves or put a sleeve, or how I might be able to fix it so it stays straight.
Great.
So the lamp works electrically?
Electrically, yes, it works fine.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so in the breakout rooms, we have kind of grouped things by the type of problem. So we have a lamp group, but this particular lamp we put into a mechanical group that's more with like mechanical problems rather than others. But, sort of arbitrary decision, but just trying to group things that way. Mary Ellen, do you have your lamp ready?
Sure. Hi. So my lamp is like the first one. It's got this kind of loose piece growing here. And it, as I recall, the switch was also kind of getting funky. So I bought, instead of just buying the one part, I bought a make your own lamp kit, figuring it would have all the parts I would need. But it's been sitting around for years, and I just thought I'd use the Fixit clinic to get motivated to get it out and do it.
Great. Yeah, no, it's always nice when you have parts ready to go.
So you get all sorts of positive reinforcement for actually having parts and getting ready to rock. So good. Thank you for doing that.
All right, so that was our lamp contingent, and moving on to radios.
Let's just check, Margaret, is it Margaret,
yeah.
Did you show up with your lamp? Margaret? No Margaret, okay.
So now we're looking at Margot for a radio. Okay, I'm not seeing that name in the list either. So,
how do you have somebody raising their hand?
Oh, okay.
Next to Mary Ellen, older lady.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Jackie? Do you want to unmute yourself? Yeah.
I just did. I have this clock radio, and it works fine in here, but I have it plugged in the kitchen, and it's the static on it is just tremendous. It works fine now.
Production of Evita. It's true. She even did the Evita hands at one point. She did. They were up in the air. She was calling it. She was either doing Evita or calling it a touchdown. It was hard to say. Who knows?
And I have to say, Melania, oddly, has become very popular here.
Okay, thanks for that. I think over Zoom actually didn't get the static coming through. I think Zoom has all kinds of filters and things, so it was a little broken and choppy, but we'll take your word for it that there's static. All right, thank you for introducing that, Jackie. So Jamie, do you want to describe your?
I actually have an AV receiver, which
I didn't get my answer yet. When I have it plugged in.
Hey, Jackie, we'll get to you. Jackie, we'll get to you. We'll put you in the radio room, okay? You need to sign up in advance, and we didn't have you queued up as an item to be seen.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay,
thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Jackie. And yeah, Jamie, go ahead and describe your Kenwood receiver problem.
Jamie, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just trying to show it in frame, which is difficult to do. You can see it here, but more, I think maybe a description would be more appropriate. So the problem is that it has an intermittent problem. So sometimes the problem's there, sometimes it's not. And I hear a click, and then it's capable of surround sound. And then after the click, the front two channels disappear, and then sometimes they come back later. Sometimes you change modes there's a button to turn off and on the speakers, the front speakers. If you hit that enough, they come back. But it can be gone for a few hours, and then it can be working a full day. And I don't know what has happened, and this just started this year. And the AC power goes directly into it, and I don't want to make it worse. So I'm hoping that I can find a solution without having to take it apart. So I want to see if there's a fixable solution without having to take it apart.
Jamie, do you have the remote control for it?
I do not have the remote control, unfortunately.
This particular receiver is known for picking up strange signals from different equipment, and it appears as if someone was pressing the remote control buttons and made changes to it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
Okay, great. Well, it's good introduction. Do we have Tyran with another Kenwood receiver?
Yes, this is Tyran here. I have another Kenwood receiver, audio receiver from maybe 70s. It's a vintage one. It's getting a popping noise or a static noise constantly, and then some loud popping noise once in a while. I have opened it up and cleaned the contacts. I checked a lot of things in here, and I read a bunch of forum discussions. I think it's related to a capacitor that's gone bad. I isolated that, so it's not from the volume, it's not because of the source, it is not related to the channels is only isolated to just the right channel coming out from the thing. And I have the schematic of it. So if somebody's really good at reading that schematic, should be able to help me pinpoint exactly what component needs to be replaced.
Actually, it's a fairly simple one. It's either an electrolytic or a tantalum capacitor that is having a problem, and the schematic will not help you. The only way we found is doing it is just replacing the capacitors, either one by one or all of them. They are like 10 or 12 cents each. So just get all the appropriate values and replace all the capacitors, and in an hour you can do that, and it fixes the problem.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion also.
Yeah, let's hold our discussion until, like Peter said, a little bit later as I start moving people into breakout rooms. Discussion can continue, and then also in the breakout rooms. But since we have a lot of items, we should keep going. But yeah, thanks for that introduction. And so, do we have Ray, a returning item? Toaster oven. I didn't see Ray in the list, but
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, hi.
Sorry, I didn't know I was going because mine's not a radio. But,
oh, well, yeah, sorry.
It's similar. But so I have a toaster oven that is here, and only the bottom element works. And so I did purchase a multimeter, and hoping to figure out what is wrong with it and how to fix it today.
Great, thank you. And I guess you were a returning item. Was there anything that you followed up with or had input from last time that you want to build on, or?
Well, they recommended that I needed the multimeter, and so I didn't know that before. So.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thanks. All right, yeah, sorry, I wasn't queuing people up as well. This is a section that's just miscellaneous items. So we have Alice next, and then Rebecca, and then after that will be a couple of laptops, Rosemary and Salesh. And so Alice, do you have your sewing machine?
Yeah, my Hoover sewing machine is not working at all. It doesn't, the thread doesn't run. So I tried a couple of times already. It just won't start, form the stitches at all. So I don't know what's the problem with it.
Okay, so let's see how it's threaded. That's the best thing I would first start with. Let's see if it's correctly threaded. Do you have the manual? And can you refer to that? And then we can put her in the breakout room while she's referring to the manual if she has it.
Yeah, I have the manual.
Okay.
Okay.
So do we want to break out for that? And I'll tell her how, I'll check all the threading, making sure it's threaded right.
Sure, yeah, we will
And the parts.
move that into the sewing machine breakout room, and I think we only have a few more items, so we'll finish going through those and then handle the breakout rooms. Rebecca has a paper shredder. Are you ready to show that?
I am ready.
All right, thank you.
So this is my paper shredder. It's an Amazon Basics brand. It's pretty basic. It's only 2 years old. It's got power to it, but it's only got 3 settings on the switch. It's got auto, which is a feed where you put the paper in and it automatically shreds it. It's got off and it's got reverse. Now I know that it works, at least it's got power, because if you put it on reverse, you can get a little action there. It'll turn off, but if it's on auto, nothing happens. And there's no way to turn it on besides auto. So that's my problem.
Great. All right. Thank you for that. and we'll get you some people to help work on that. So the last group I have is a couple of laptops. So Rosemary, are you ready? Okay. All right. Salish, are you?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. Yeah.
Originally, I had contacted about the audio problem, but that has resolved itself. And then I sent an updated email to talk about another software issue that I was having with installation of Quicken program. So I bought a older version of Quicken on Amazon. It's a 2008 Quicken. I tried to install it, but installation also requires online registration, and somehow online registration wasn't happening. The solution indicated within the software help was that I should make sure that my laptop is set up to accept cookies, and secondly, the firewall should not be blocking the communication with online system of Quicken, I guess. I thought I tried to resolve both of the issues. I am not sure whether I did it correctly or not, but even after doing those two things, I still am not able to register it online. So if someone can help me with the installation of it is what I am looking for.
Okay, thank you. So that was, well, let's see. Did we cover the standby items or
I'd like to try. We're doing okay, and we're doing well enough. If you're willing, Howdy, let's bang out these final three.
Okay.
Let's see if they're here.
So, Shivansh, or the Black & Decker blender. Okay. Marcia with the paper cutter. Are you here? Or Angela with the drawer?
Angelina.
Oh, Angelina.
My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm here. Angelina.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and describe your problem.
I took a picture. I don't know whether you guys can see. It is that my problem is I have a cabinet. The top is like you can see it's all peeled up. So I bought the piece to replace it, but then I don't know how to remove that. Okay, so I took a picture. This is what is behind the drawer front at the back. So I don't know how to take out that piece. That's my problem.
Okay. All right, thank you. So was there anyone missed who was hoping to introduce an item?
So we added Jackie to the radios. Oh yeah, is there anybody who talked to me, I communicated with this week, who's on this call about presenting who we didn't call? Going once. Going twice. Okay, we did great. Okay.
Oh, I was waving my hand. You didn't see me. Is it too late to ask about an umbrella?
Oh, sure. Throw it in.
Okay. This is a really nice umbrella. It's a windproof, and I've had it for so many years. The handle broke off, and I've been managing to raise it without the handle. I don't know. Let me see which is fine, except the last time they went to put it up, this piece, let me see if I can get that where you can see it. This piece fell out, and I'm not sure whether there's a spring that's gone too or what. Anyway, if anybody has any suggestions, I would be grateful. That's it.
Okay.
It's a lovely umbrella.
All right, so I'm gonna start working on moving people into the breakout rooms. So as I said, we are starting by grouping people. I don't know, some of these groups might have, 4 or so items. I don't know how people feel about that. If it's not going to be, possible to give enough attention to each item, we can certainly split them up. But I guess unless there's objections, we'll try starting out that way. So so I'll start moving people in, and if there is discussion on some of the items that you want to do in the background while I'm doing that, this is kind of the fiddly manual bit that isn't very efficient, but it's just how we have to do it with Zoom. So feel free to discuss things. I'm just going to start moving people, starting with the LAMP group, and then as I said, if you're a coach, we're going to assign you to the hallway. So you'll just be in a breakout room that's all coaches. But once you're there, if you hover over the bottom of your screen and you see the breakout room icon, if you click on that, you should be able to select which breakout room you want to go to after that. So we're giving the coaches sort of the freedom to move between breakout rooms back and forth without having to come back here and get assigned to a specific room. So, but before I assign you to that hallway, I also have to make you co-host to have that capability. So that's how that will work.
Harry, I think it might be prudent to perhaps split the lamps. Lamps can be straightforward repairs, but they can still take quite a long time. And if you've got enough coaches, it might be worthwhile seeing if you can divide that up. Just a suggestion.
Sure, I'll make a second lamp group. Thank you for that recommendation.
Although I thought there might be some sort of teachable thing across all the lamps. Heidi's got to rewire the lamp that her grandfather made, and Marianne has all the parts for rewiring a lamp. So I would put Heidi and Mary Ellen together as 2 lamps for sure. Kim's lamp sounds like it's a dimmer switch issue, but so it's slightly different. And then Sherry's is about sort of how to make the base stable. So I thought there'd be like a mechanical group that we would put Sherry in. So what if we put the 3 lamps? What if we put Mary Ellen, Kim, and Heidi in together as a lamp group?
Okay, I'm starting that.
Yeah. And then does anybody have to say anything about those? Like I think about with a lamp rewiring, we do it all the time probably. And so some of you are probably like, know that like the back of your hands, but there might be some of the coaches in training and stuff who have not seen that before. And Mary Ellen looks like she knows what she's doing, but she just wanted someone to sort of watch her be confident doing it. Does anybody have anything to say about lamps while we're talking about that? So let me just run down what we saw. Okay, we saw Heidi with the lamp that her grandfather made. Kim had the crystal lamp that the switch isn't working. It's a dimmer switch on the cord. Mary Ellen has a lamp she wants to rewire, and she bought the rewiring kit. Then in the next group, we've got the 2 stereo receivers. We've got Jamie's receiver from Canada. We've got Tyran's receiver from down the block from me. And we've got Jackie's radio with static.
Peter, do you think that the shredder also should be in the lamp group, since it maybe do you think that that's a wiring issue?
Guys, what do you think of the shredder? I actually think there's an optical sensor that's
There's been some discussion going on
Yeah,
about.
that's what I think. I think it's the opposite. I think
I think that
will fix it.
there's been
It may be as simple as my shredder has a micro switch in it,
And if it gets clogged with paper, with the tiniest scrap of paper, that's enough to make it quit working.
First thing to do with the shredder is get a vacuum
Blow it out,
cleaner
clean
and just
it out.
vacuum it out.
Okay,
That's
so
that's what
I've got
everyone's
the
saying in the chat room.
I've got the three lamps in that breakout. So if there are coaches that want to join that, I'll put you in the hallway first, but I want to assign people so they're not just sitting there alone. So anyone who wants to volunteer for the lamp group, let me know.
Howdy, it's Frank. I will do the lamp group.
Okay. Let's see. So first, Frank, I'm going to make you a co-host. And then I'm going to assign you to the hallway, and you'll have to move yourself to the lamps by using the breakout icon at the bottom of the screen. So if that doesn't work for you, just come back here and we'll fix that. Anyone else that wants to go to lamps? Okay, you can always move yourself there once you're in the breakout room. I mean, I guess I could start putting coaches in the hallway as well and let you decide where you want to go. But let's move on to the radio group. So I have, I guess, Margot didn't show, right? Is that? So we have Jackie. So Jackie, you have two logins. I guess I won't assign your dead window, or do I need to do both of those?
No, just this one.
Okay. And I'm sorry, were you the one with, I thought maybe there's two different people.
There's two
yeah,
Jackie.
the
I'm the one with
ensign.
the. I'm the one with the umbrella.
Okay, yeah, I think it's ensign.
I'm the one with the radio.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I'll put you in the radio group, and I'll put Jamie and
And why not have a mechanical group so you can get that lamp in there and the umbrella maybe.
yeah, so we do have that one, and I'll do that next. And so Fixit coaches, who would like to join the radio group?
I do. Frank.
Okay.
Frank Zenner.
Yep.
Yeah, question.
Go ahead.
Actually,
yeah.
I have two items. I have a sewing machine and a radio. But I like to get the sewing machine fixed first. If I have time, then can I join the radio, or how does it work?
Yeah, I think we should just start with the sewing machine, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of sewing machines, since that's just let's get that one started. So so Alice.
Somebody's got an open mic with something ticking in the background.
I don't have ticking, but I'll mute myself.
So Cece, I made you a co-host, and I will assign you to the hallway, and then you can reposition yourself. Is there any other coach that would like to join the sewing machine group.
You have Mark indicating in the chat that
Okay,
he's interested in
thanks.
sewing, and you have Colby wanting to join the radio group.
Okay, thank you.
I have, excuse me, Alice have an iPad and a computer. So can you also assign my iPad to the big room, the break room too? Thank you.
Okay.
This is Diane. I'd like to go to the sewing machine group.
This is David. I
Okay.
do the same.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting a little behind here. So because I have two steps, I have to make people co-hosts and then I have to add them. So let me try to catch up and I'll get back to you too.
Howdy, if this is too unwieldy to do the two-step process, maybe we could just move the people sewing, and then when that sewing room closes or they come back, we can work on making them co-hosts later.
Okay, let's see.
Thanks everyone for being patient. This is the most awkward part of the whole thing is.
Okay, so
everybody
I think I got Mark and Colby, and there were two people after that that asked to be moved. Could you come back? So David and Diane.
Diane, yeah.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten anything to go into the hallway, so I'm still sitting here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cece. Let's see. You are added to it. You should have gotten a pop-up window, but yeah, I don't. Let's see. I'll just put you directly into the sewing room. But
to deliver a safe and secure meeting environment for both you and your users.
Hi, howdy.
Yes.
This is Joe in England. Can you put me
Okay.
in the sewing machine group, please?
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I still haven't done, I think it was Diane and David, right? Yeah, okay, so.
Can I make a comment about Tyran's unit? You're talking about
Let me ask him to see if he could assign my iPad to the break room so you can see better.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Alice's iPad.
So that was
sorry.
Alice's iPad. So, and which room was that?
Sewing machine.
Okay.
Sewing machine. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone still waiting on me? Before I move on.
Who's in the radio group? I wanted to comment about Tyran's unit.
Okay. I can move you into the. Actually, I don't. Oh, hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully, people are moving themselves out of the hallway. So.
I'm not in the hallway yet.
Yeah, no, I'll get you assigned, Bill. Thanks. Sorry.
Have those stereos been put in the radio group? Where are they?
Yes, it's the room is just called radios, and then it has the names Tyran and Jamie after that. So. All right, and anyone else with a request at the moment?
There's 2 waiting for the shredder group. Greg, Wayne.
Okay. Okay, so I haven't put anyone in the mechanical room yet. So for that we had Rebecca, Cherry, and Marcia. So I'm going to add them. So let's see.
I would put Angelina with her fake drawer door in the mechanical group too.
Okay. And let's see. So
Yeah, folks, Howdy is the only one who can do this. So,
so yeah. So who are there coaches who want to join the mechanical room, or really any coaches now should probably just be made co-hosts and assign themselves where they want to go as we do this. So
yeah, you can make Wayne a co-host.
okay, yeah.
Put me in
That
the.
with me too.
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
so this was the part where I imagined we'd be doing this lively and active banter about all the items we'd seen, but it actually takes so much overhead to just route people that we need to keep the voice channel clear in order to do that.
You can chat away.
I suppose it would have been more efficient if, you know, we could have had all the coaches as co-hosts ahead, but all right. So I
Howdy, I'm not sure whether or not I've made it to the waiting area. I'm sort of sitting, not doing anything at the moment. I'm not quite sure how to get in.
okay. Yeah, I'm adding you to the breakout hallway first. I think you're already a co-host, so hopefully
Right. If I
a
go
pop-up
into,
should come up, I think.
yeah. So what do I do? I can join a breakout room now, can I?
Yeah, so you were assigned to the hallway one, which will then, once you're there, you can you should see a breakout room icon in the bottom of the screen, but I think it might only show up once you've joined that breakout room, and then from there you can choose which one.
I've got it. Thank you. I've got it.
So while we're doing this, I'm going to say, Shailesh, your Quicken problem, I'm going to talk about that because maybe we don't need to assign it to a breakout room. My concern is that maybe Quicken's authentication server for your version of the software is no longer active. And if that's the case, it's going to be really hard to get your software running. I just don't know if that's your experience of it.
Okay. All right, I understand.
So you purchased a version off of eBay from Quicken 2008?
I purchased it on Amazon, Quicken 2008, off of Amazon.
Okay, and so Frank, I saw that you had a problem in your back. What do you need?
I can go into the radio. I can go into the radio breakout room where the Kenwoods are, the vintage.
Okay.
What is it?
Yeah, let me
Tyron? Oh no.
move you there
Okay, yeah.
directly, I guess.
Oh, Jamie. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Tyron. Yeah. No, I'm using my iPad. There was no button on it to take me to the.
Okay. I'm just gonna put you directly in the radio room this time. See if that works for you.
All right.
So, is there anyone else in this room languishing and wanting to get some attention?
I'll go to the hallway.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who is that?
That was Doug.
Doug. Okay.
And me as well, Danny.
Okay. There's two Dougs. Were you Doug Watson or?
Doug Leslie.
Ling.
We have Ray with the toaster
Doug
oven
from
still
Wellesley.
not in a room.
Okay.
Doug from Wellesley.
Yeah, does Ray get her own room, or does it make sense to put her in with some other group?
She needs multimeter help right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
so
for their own room.
I wanted to talk about that too, that if she does have a broken wire with these low-end toaster ovens, usually what happens is they do a cheap spot weld to the heating element. So if she's got a bad heating element, even if we can get a replacement, there's no good way to have her reinstall it. We were working on something, Wayne, where we would like wire wrap, or with heavy gauge wire, like 14 gauge or 12 gauge wire between the broken wire and the new element. But we were also looking at this sort of butt connector that we could think about from Home Depot. But if anyone has any good ideas for that, I was curious. I wanted to bring that up in front of the larger group, and I didn't think I could do it this time.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm looking for the next task to do. Do you want me to move Ray somewhere, or do you want to continue that discussion here, or is anyone looking to get moved?
I'm looking to get moved. If
Okay.
you will. I wouldn't mind going to the radio group.
Okay, sure.
I'm Des
So,
Watson.
yeah, I see. Thanks. So first, I'm making you a co-host, and then, if you don't mind, I'll move you into the hallway first, and then you can.
That's fine.
Yeah.
John P. to the hallway once you get done with that.
Yeah, got it.
I'll into the hallway as well, please.
Okay.
Howdy, let's move Ray into her own room, so at least when they get to the hallway, that room's available for them to move into.
Okay.
Ray is still here from what I can tell.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
I'll go up in the loft and then. Sorry.
So Howdy, if you have set up a room for the shredder, I would like to go in there, Tom Johnson.
Okay, the shredder ended up in the mechanical room, so you can look for it there.
Okay. So could you assign me to the hallway, or?
Yes, I'm doing that. And let's see. it's interesting because the list to assign people to the breakout rooms is nice and alphabetized. The participant list to make people co-hosts is not, so it's harder to track people down. And I think I got halfway through doing someone, or let's see. well, just remind me if there's anyone here that's still. Oh, John's.
John P to the hallway.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
still here.
Yeah, sorry about that. I did make you. Didn't I? I didn't make you a co-host. Okay.
Nope.
Sorry. There you
No
are.
worries.
Sorry. Getting distracted.
I think you were gonna put me in my own room or something.
Yeah, Ray needs
Yes.
a room.
So that's right. Unfortunately, it appears I can't rename them now that I started them. So you're going to be in breakout room 10, which means that people wouldn't necessarily know to find you there. But hopefully we can.
We can send people in with her.
Okay.
From here.
So
yeah.
So let's try this. And
Yeah, if anyone wants to go with them, then you can send them all together.
Yeah.
Also, Howdy, can you please move Aaron, Megan, and Alvin to the hallway?
Okay.
Thank you.
I will. So I think I just moved Ray, Aaron, Megan, Alvin. Okay, I think I got those three. Danny, were you still waiting to be moved?
Yeah, I moved to the hallway, but I couldn't go into any other room.
You
so
couldn't get out? Did I not make you a co-host? Let me see. Let's see. You are a co-host. So did you see the...
I couldn't see any other room, no?
Interesting. Okay.
Did you saw a button at the bottom?
Yeah, I looked. I saw all the buttons. Now you can see join breakout room, but it didn't have that button when I was in the hallway.
Okay. Which room would you like to be in?
Maybe watch either the shredder or the lamps.
Okay.
Can you move Cece to the
I'll move you to the
machine
lamps
room?
for now.
Because I had to do a full reset. My system wasn't working.
You moved my second screen.
Okay.
Howdy, sorry.
Okay. Let's see.
I have one with the Belgian flag. That's my second screen, and I have one Danny Belgium.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
That was a mistake. I moved you to the sewing room. I guess you can probably reject that or something.
I don't know. I have one
So,
here.
so Ray is asking for help in her
move me to
room.
Ray. Move me to Ray if she needs help.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can. I put you in sewing. Thanks. All right. Anyone with somewhere that I can assign you?
I'll go into the mechanical room.
Okay, sure. So you're Trisha.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm putting you in the hallway first, but hopefully you can figure that out. So, all right. Charlie, it's been a long time. Good to see you. Do you want to peruse the various Fixit rooms or listen to us?
Well, I was enjoying the process, but
A little chaotic, but yes.
Go ahead and put me in the lamp room if you like.
Okay.
Good to see you, Howdy.
Good to see you, Charlie.
Charlie, are you from Zurich?
I'm in Geneva. I used to be in Berkeley. Howdy and I worked on cookstove projects.
Thanks for joining.
Okay, you're going to go to the hallway first, but you can meander around and see what's going on.
Hi, this is Jennifer. Could you put me in the mechanical room?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're down to one screen, Howdy. You're doing great.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Well, I hope that the breakout rooms are going well with multiple items, but I haven't heard anyone come back asking to be separated. So.
And I guess I'll just go around and check how things are going.
Okay, so I thought I already might have, well, let's see, Naren.
Oh, I've already been assigned. No worries. I can move now.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan, do me a favor and tell people to don't just leave, but to report back, ideally. And if you could be hall monitor, just see if anyone's like hanging out there smoking cigarettes or something, okay?
Will do, will do.
So Ivy, I know you're like a big wig in the Toronto group, and I just want to thank you for being part of this process. It's, you know, we'd love to see how we can make this thing scale. It's working. This is, you know, this is kind of how it's going, but feel free to go around and see what's going on in the individual rooms. But we also want to like bring your Toronto people, and that was kind of like what the lounge was for, was that if for some reason you guys want to like go off and hang out, having brought you all together here, if you want to like hang out in the lounge as opposed to in the main room here in the spotlight, but.
So Ivy, I'm making you a co-host and I'm gonna assign you to the breakout hallway, but from there you can move to the other groups if you just wanna see what it looks like in the various groups.
And Kirsten, it's great to see you here from Dakota County too. You want to go look around, work in other rooms? Or?
Yeah, I was going to say, whenever you're ready, Howdy, I'd love to see what the hallway looks like. I didn't even realize that Zoom had hallways.
Well, it's just a room we're calling a hallway. If you have rooms, you might as well have hallways too
awesome.
to connect them. Right? It's mostly it's a hallway because the co-hosts have the ability to move between rooms, but they have to be assigned to one first. So that's why, so I just made you a co-host, and then I'm assigning you to the hallway, which will just be a room. Right now it has Ivy in it. I don't know that she's moved yet. And then I guess the two of you can figure out how to move yourself to other rooms once you're there.
Okay, thank you.
Let us know if anything, you know, is going on in there. Okay, Kristen?
Yep, I will. Thanks.
Could I be sent to the lamp room? This is Meg.
Okay, yeah, I'll just do you directly if, yeah. So you'll have to come back here if you want to change, but. Yeah, Ron.
Radios, please.
Sorry, what was that?
Radios.
Radios,
please.
okay. Yeah, sorry if you waited so long, but yeah.
Okay, that's great, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
You also have some requests in the chat.
Thank you.
You need to go to hallway to Rove.
Okay.
Good to see you, Jessica. Thank you for showing up here.
Yeah, no worries. It's a massive one. I'm like, whoa. Yeah.
You're going to have an in-person event tomorrow too, right?
Right. Yeah, but we haven't been getting many people, so it's been very easy because we have the entire venue to ourselves, and the weather's been great every single Sunday. It's uncanny for Sweden at this time. So yeah, we've been lucky so far.
No, this is more people than we've had in the Zoom. So I counted 67 at the peak. So the idea that we're routing all these people into rooms is, like I said, I was hoping that this would be when the lively banter and discourse would occur, and just.
Yeah, everybody's waiting.
Yeah, it's kind of too bad that there isn't a more streamlined way to just give everyone the freedom to go where they want to go. But,
I have a question. The rooms I'm in, every time somebody speaks, every time one of the helpers speak, the item that we're trying to see just goes to a small screen. Is there any way that we can
spotlight the video? Spotlight the video on the person presenting. A co-host should be able to spotlight, like press on their name if you pull up participants, and press on their name, or even on the person, the three dots, and there should be a highlight video, spotlight video, or pin video if you're a co-host.
I'll try that.
One of those, and then it'll keep that person as the video.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a host, you can pin the video on an individual and freeze it there. So that's another thing to do.
Right. Any one of those, we'll keep it on them. But yeah, that is another tricky part. But yeah, it's a shame with this one that only one person can be doing the breakout room assignments.
yeah, I guess one approach for the breakout would be to just essentially make everyone co-host, and then when you create the breakout rooms, you can just move, as a, well, I don't know. I mean, there is automated, moving everyone at once, but I don't know how that works when you have lots of rooms. I guess.
No, and it doesn't. It'll mix up the participants and the repairers, like where you'll have weird repairers with strange, because it just randomly assigns them, unless you know ahead of time exactly what email they're using and everything signed in.
But I suppose it would be a little chaotic, but you could, randomly assign them and then let them, I mean, if the name of the rooms, if you can assign the name so that then they actually find the place they want to be by the name of the room, you could just have little scramble.
And you can rename them before you open them. So you have one shot there before you press open them that you can rename anything right before. So you can be renaming then. And I think then, I don't know, it seemed to me like maybe people that know where they want to go should just go there first. And then if they want to come out, then you can deal with them with giving them co-hosts and assigning them to the
that might be more efficient. Yeah.
Or to the hallway. Just so you get all of them started with something, and then as people are like, okay, now I want to go someplace else, then you can give them the privileges. But yeah, I guess some people you already know ahead of time because we show up to the event, so you're already maybe during the presentation starting to co-host people.
All right, I just went around and everything seems to be fine, no problems whatsoever.
Great.
Yeah, and also, Howdy, I think you should. It's possible as a host for you to send a message to just about everyone that you can just come back to the main room, right?
Breakout rooms.
Broadcast.
Yeah.
You can do that.
I haven't done that before, but I'm sure I can. I guess if we wanted to, call people back or something, we could do that. But is there anything that people think I should be broadcasting at this point? Or?
Maybe say it's good to remember to report back. And also maybe reminding them if anybody's not getting any attention at this point because they've been going for 10 minutes, and if somebody feels like they're not paying attention to my item at all, maybe that's the opportunity now to make another breakout room.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what happened last time.
Ryan, could you check on that for us? Could you go around and make sure that like Ray's getting help with her toaster oven and stuff?
Sure, I'll go ahead and do that.
So
Also,
do you know that Ray's in a room called Breakout 10?
I have to go ahead and check that out, yeah. And also, I have a suggestion. So when everyone's in the main room and everyone's introducing all of their items, after all of that, when we have to start moving them into the breakout rooms, we can use the participants' reaction tabs so that, you can like find out whoever wants to go into the breakout rooms instead of everyone speaking at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So use raise hand or something like that is what you're proposing.
Something like that.
So the only challenge there is that you have to then, because we only get to see 25 participants at a time, when it's 75 participants, you have to be cycling through screens to look for all the raised hands.
But you don't have to use the screens. So anything, like you can use, if you click on participants, you get a list. And this is also how I find people fast. So I start typing. So like when you're saying Margaret, I'm like MAR and see who pops up there. So I can tell you right away if there's no Margaret there. And then it's just anyone rename themselves. So you could find them fast, I think, that way. You can also then just scroll down fast through hand raising. I found the chat useful as well for just, rather than people saying, just have it in the chat. But then, yeah, it scrolls so fast that I have to go back up always, but at least it's there. So I didn't miss it. Like when people say things to me, it's gone.
And then Kashde Huri wants to go to the computer room. Kashde, I don't think we made a computer room. I think Shalish just left after I told him that probably the Quicken software he bought. Yeah, it's kind of old. I'm sorry you bought that.
Harvey, this is Bob Walker. Could you move me to the hallway, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
So Dave, you just joined. There are a couple of people who, like Diane, you just joined in. Just so you know what we're doing, we've seen everything, and we've got most people in breakout rooms now. So if you'd like to go to a breakout room, speak up and we'll tell you what's available to go into. And Nicole, also, if you want to be assigned a co-host and start roaming around to see the repairs going on in the various rooms, let us know.
Yes, please. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nicole is hosting our next one on September 10th out of UC Berkeley. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, thanks for sending me the invite today. It's really cool to see how it works.
See, I thought you were Zoom Pro, because of what all you guys have to do up at the campus now for online instruction.
We don't usually manage this many breakout rooms, but I sent you a message and what I said was probably we might do a Google Doc. We'll see if we can talk and see if that seems like a good idea.
Okay. Yeah. No, and there are a bunch of people here who are experienced at this, so we can help you. Like Howdy, I hope will be there that night. Jessica's in Sweden, so it's going to be too early in the morning for her.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Jingjing. I guess I'm in the hallway too. So I don't have any. I didn't bring an item with me. Our furnace is broken, and my husband already tried to fix it a couple times, and we replaced the control board. And second time he replaced the blower, and it had worked at one point, but then didn't work again. It's a really old furnace. So my intention was to bring him with me, but then he wasn't available today. So if you don't mind, repeat the groups again, and I'll see if one that could be closer to what I'm looking at.
We had a lamp group, we had a radio group, we had a mechanical group. And then we have Ray and her toaster oven in her own private room doing that. So,
So it sounds like mechanical group would be the closest.
Okay.
Possibly. We're getting people coming back here too, so we could just talk about it here. Is anyone wanting to report back from other rooms? Are things going okay, or?
Well, I also just saw that Tom joined in and so Tom, we've seen everything and we're all organized into groups. So I didn't know if you want to go. We have a hallway breakout room where you can go into there and then look around at all the things being shown. So Tom, I don't know if you want to be sent to that hallway.
And room 10 is a toaster with a multimeter working through it.
Sorry, can I just quickly ask, is the way it works is like we expect to fix the item over multiple sessions? Is that how it works?
It depends on what your item is. So we've been going since 11, Jingling, you just showed up, right?
I've been just, listening, but I wasn't necessarily focused the whole time because I really, like I said, I intended to bring my husband in, but I just kind of want to understand how it works.
So we're making this up as it goes along, but the idea is that you present your item to the broad assembly of Fixit coaches, and we're trying to give you the benefit of a global group of repairers to look at your item.
Okay.
And then once we show your item, then the Fixit coaches would suggest things to try in a breakout room. And then we set everybody up in the breakout rooms like we did.
But signing up beforehand is also helpful because then you know what the problem is, Peter, and you communicate that to the repairers. So we already have an idea of what's coming. So people are thinking, okay, this is the issue. So we kind of know what it is, what brand it is, how old it is, what the issue is. And so there's already some thought.
Sounds good. Okay, sounds like I should just have my husband write it down. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So Rotimi, I see you've been wanting to move for a while. I think I did assign you to the hallway a while ago. Did you not see a pop-up box, or are you still wanting to move, or?
I guess for today it maybe doesn't matter. I didn't see a box pop up.
Oh no, Jingli, I was speaking with Rotimi.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Rotimi, you're muted, just to let you know.
Yeah.
We still can't hear you. Why don't you try and type it in the chat?
Howdy. I left the mechanical room, but it didn't put me in a hallway.
Yeah, so most of the people I've been making co-host, and they can move you back and forth. Did you start in the hallway, or did I just move you directly? Yeah, so I think I must have moved you directly. Do you want me to put you in the hallway now, or in a specific room, or?
Why don't you put me in the hallway, then I can
Okay.
just move around.
Yeah, sure.
And Dave West is just came in, and let's make him a co-host and put him in the hallway. Dave, if you could go into room 10, there's I don't know if you were there that day, but there's Ray with her toaster oven, and she's got a multimeter to test whether or not she's got a bad heating element. So Dave West is also someone who just showed up, and then we just had Trent show up. So I wasn't counting on these late arrivals. So Trent, we've seen everything. We've moved 60 plus coaches into various breakout rooms. So if you want to go into a breakout room, otherwise we're just having a lively banter here amongst ourselves.
And so just Dave, so you know, I made you a co-host. I'm moving you into the hallway, but from there you can use the breakout room icon to move to any of the other breakout rooms. So. Currently, well, the hallway seems crowded. There's like 5 people in there. I don't know if actually 3 haven't joined and 2 are actually in there. So
they're stopping outside to get a cig.
Yeah, the lounge is still empty though. No one took us up on the lounge. So.
Yeah, that was an experiment because there were so many people signing up from Toronto. Maybe they would just want to have some sort of offline type of place to mingle.
So Jennifer, did you not see the invitation to the hallway? Okay,
God, these invitations are really cumbersome, huh?
You know, really, okay, you're a co-host. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna try moving you to another room. You should be able to move yourself once you're there, unless, I don't know how it, I mean, maybe there's a complication, the fact that you were assigned to a co-host or assigned to a breakout room before you became a co-host, and so it's leaving you in a different state. But
Okay.
Is there a particular room you'd like to go to, or?
Yeah, I'll go to the lamps.
Okay. So.
But yeah, it's interesting to know if you can change yourself now that you're a co-host, actually, because yeah, for future.
Did you get a pop-up that time, or?
Nope.
No? Strange. But you did the very first time you got assigned, right? Or,
yes, and it says that I'm still assigned to. Oh, okay, I see it now. It didn't pop up. I have to just go to.
You have to go to the breakout room icon. Yeah. Okay.
My sun is up now, so I'm gonna sign off. Go put him back. Okay, take care.
Thank you, Jessica, for being here.
Thank you. Yeah.
No worries. Bye.
Bye.
Is there anyone else that I should move?
Rotimi seems to have completely frozen by the looks of it.
Hi, Michael. You haven't said much. You're just sort of there working. You're muted currently.
Or you can type in the chat. Oh, he's gone. Oh, Rotimi would like to be reassigned to the mechanical room as an observer.
Well, it seems like people discovered the stealth breakout room 10 because there's like 7 people in there now with Ray. So, yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
I just wanted to. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Jamie.
I just wanted to finish off with the formalities so I can go on because I have other things I want to do.
Okay.
Today.
How did it go?
Well, he thinks that as I said, I didn't want to open it up. So he thinks it's probably something that you have to open up to fix. But you could always try putting a fan next to it to make sure it's staying cool. And there is a possibility of it receiving interference through the infrared sensor. So if I can find the infrared sensor, I could put tape on it and make sure there isn't any interference from that. So I can try those things. And if that doesn't work, I may have to get a new receiver. And my friend might have one that he could give me. So
great. The black tape fix is always excellent.
Well, we'll have to see. It's an intermittent issue, so we'll have to see if that helps. And do you mind if I follow up with you later on with how things turn out?
No, absolutely. That's what we've got the Global Fixers group for, is to, people are curious. We never know, did we actually fix it or not? Or, so we'd love to stay in touch with you on that.
I will be sure to follow up with you on how that goes. So anything else you want, or can I head off to do other things now?
Yeah, free to go. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being a contestant. Nice to have
you. Did I win?
Well, you decide.
See you next. Hope to see you again someday.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
So Rotini, I did just move you to the mechanical room as you requested, so you might look at your breakout icon and see if you can move there.
Hi, Bonnie. We've got a bunch of breakout rooms going. Do you want to be routed into the whole breakout? You want to work in various rooms?
Sure. I don't know. I'm sorry. I couldn't get on earlier, so I'm just starting now. But yeah, what are the different breakout rooms?
So they are labeled. So you'll be able to move yourself. I just made you co-host, and then we have a hallway, which is a breakout room that's meant as sort of the passageway to these other rooms. But I can put you in any one you want, and you should be able to move yourself once you're there. So we have lamps, mechanical, we have multiple items in some of these rooms. We have a sewing item and radios. So
I'll take the sewing.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you should see that pop up. Yeah.
You did it.
Good job. Yeah.
Yep. Virtual high fives for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, these are pretty big breakouts. I'm kind of curious how it worked with multiple. Have you done multiple items in a room before, Peter? Or
Yeah, especially when they're grouped this way. I like this idea of this sort of abstract logical thinking about, okay, if it's really about electrical connection issues, we can put all those in the same room and they can learn from each other. And I suspect the lamp thing is going to be really good for Heidi and her grandfather's lamp, because she gets to watch Mary Ellen with her lamp and lamp kit.
Because she has the parts, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we had just had Heidi alone, we might have figured out, is her wire frayed after 50 years, but they'll probably figure that stuff out with her anyway.
Yeah. No, it's definitely good for the general discussion side of it. I was just thinking if they actually get to the point where they're, taking something apart and actively doing some work, it could sideline other projects, but, sort of depends what the activity is.
So the nice thing is that we can always have people back a second or third time, right? Like we have Ray back. So, maybe over time, the online Fixit coaches will understand, this is a good stopping point for today because we've given the person enough for them to try on their own or something. And certainly it's when they have to go get a part or a tool, that's a definite stopping point. But then it definitely takes a different skill set, and we're trying to train the Fixit coaches and find new Fixit coaches who are good to this online medium. But look, it's amazing we can even do this at all. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's definitely a different challenge, but there's a lot that can be done. Yeah.
Wow, we're down to 9, and 2 of them are me.
Yeah, and a couple are people's second, or I don't know.
Right, I see Jackie with the umbrella. That's her dead window, she's labeled it.
Yeah.
Okay. And Keon's from Castro Valley, and he's just there working. Hi, Keon. And Tom's from Oakland, and he's just working. Hi, Tom. I don't know who Diane is.
Well, if anyone wants to be moved, just let me know. So Peter, do you know the broadcast message?
All right, so full disclosure, I have never been a host. So I don't know.
I see. That's why you farm it out. No, that's okay. Yeah, I've just been poking around and I haven't seen it yet. So.
Now, Ryan, thank you for sort of being our little mole to go into the rooms and see what's going on.
That's fine. Really... I require some experience myself, and since I'm already doing my online schooling and everything, it's good to be able to know what to do.
Are you guys using Zoom? As your
Yeah, we
platform?
are.
Do
We
you
are
know how
putting
to do a broadcast message, Noreen?
a broadcast message. Well,
I mean, it won't probably show up on. You're a co-host, so it might show up for you. But
I've looked around and I don't have any of those sort of permissions. However, though, I mean, I am able to do quite a bit. So maybe I should be able to find something. I don't know.
Oh, I see it. It's at the bottom of the breakout room. So when you as co-host click on the breakout rooms, do you see a whole list with everybody who's assigned to the different rooms? Or do you see something else?
Yeah, I see all the breakout rooms with everyone assigned in them.
Okay, at the bottom of that, there's a broadcast message to all.
That's okay. I'll have a look at that.
So
May I interrupt?
yeah, please.
Hi, it's Sherry. I just wanted to thank you guys. I got some perfect feedback and then also watched a little bit of what everybody else is up to. But I need to break out myself now. But I just wanted to say thank you and thanks for the invite and hopefully see you again next time.
Thank you for coming, Sherry. Hey, so
Yeah,
just so one of the most frustrating things for me is I have to like run the show so I can't see what's going on. So what did they tell you to do?
Well, I'm going to get some JB steel stick. It's an epoxy because the threads, we determined that even though there were threads, the threads were stripped. So I'm going to get some epoxy and maybe also some nylon tape, put it in there, put some tape around it, you know, and make sure it stays straight. And then, you know, I'll never be able to take it apart again. But the goal is just to make sure it stays straight.
Okay, great. And so, you know, I would give you a suggestion. So the thread stripped on it.
Yeah.
Do you have that, you know, that white Teflon plumbing tape?
Yeah.
That stuff's dirt cheap. Okay. And what, even before, if I would try wrapping a lot of that white Teflon plumbing tape and use that to thread it on. Try that as before, because that, you know, you can always undo. And that's a nice way to thicken it up. So before you try to epoxy it, I would try that first.
Okay. They did suggest that as, you know, to put on as well. But, you know, if you think that might work without the epoxy, I will try that first because I got plenty of that on hand.
It depends on how bad it's stripped.
Right.
So, you know, so that might, you know, hey, declare victory and you're done.
Well, I will try that first. I'm glad I came back into the main room before I left.
And you work up at LBL, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm glad you how did you hear about it?
I got it, you know, through the Elements.
Oh, excellent.
Newsletter.
Yeah, nice.
So are you guys going to keep putting the invitation in there or?
Well, so the lab only will promote it when we're hosting. So, but you know, Peter's got, once you get on his, you know, email list, or that link that you use to register, you can see the future events and you can sign up for new ones. But yeah, the lab newsletter won't always. Unfortunately, they're kind of stingy about promoting outside events. So, but
understandable, they got a lot to promote.
Yeah.
But so Peter, yeah, I will look at the list and I will, you know, subscribe, as they say.
Okay. And, you know, we'd like to look at what the lab has as broken stuff too, eventually. You know, like if the goal is to like elevate this to the level where the lab is interested too, like if there's it can be like, I don't know, floor polishers or, you know, physical plant type stuff that's broken, or even if there's like a microwave or something in the break room that's broken, you know, rather than you guys throwing it away or just buying a new one, to think about how we could think about starting to fix that stuff. So facilities maintenance, or, I mean, geez, we'll look at, you know, the lab equipment or the optical stuff, you know, whatever people can't get fixed, because there's a lot of it up there, I imagine.
I would imagine. I'll leave that to Howdy.
Okay, all right.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks for being a participant.
It was really fun. I'll see you next time.
Okay. You're welcome back just to observe, even if you don't have anything broken.
Exactly. And that's what I will do, because I actually have a couple sewing projects, and I know there were a couple women who were sewers. So there's a couple of things I do want to ask them. So,
okay.
See you in the future.
Okay, bye. Thanks.
Thanks. So Charlie, did you see some interesting stuff in the breakout rooms, or?
Yeah, everything seems to be going well in the lamp rewiring. Just kind of pondering the nature of the whole thing, as far as we all have different skill sets. Mine may be magnets and epoxies and woodworking and things like that. And so you need all of us online just in case one of our skill sets is needed. But on the other hand, on any given time, it may not be needed. This is just my second time. And so just trying to work my way through the philosophy. I'm in local hacker spaces and Fixit clinics, and there we may have to fix whatever's thrown in front of us. Here, we don't have to unless there's nobody else that's more qualified. So interesting process.
Yeah, I would say it's a generalist's paradise. You know, specialists might languish a while, but when you need them, they're, you know, the only one that's going to have the answer. But yeah.
I like to say we're hard to impress, but we're easily amused. Sorry, Nicole, what were you going to say?
Oh, you're good. I wanted to know what you think about having some sort of edutainment or entertainment in the main room, so that the specialists who are not currently needed can stay on the call, and then people can come in and call them in to a room.
What entertains you?
That's a great question. I was just going to read off the iFixit latest reviews.
I mean, we could talk about, you know, what the situation is in our different far-flung countries, for example, and compare how things work.
Yeah, we could talk about right to repair, anything.
So we have a little bonding exercise, the 15 minutes before the top of the hour, which I think both of you missed. We try to like have all the assembled coaches start to talk about current events and where they're at and how they're getting along. But you, as you saw, there's this dead time. You know, there's this period where we're trying to shuffle everybody into the breakout rooms in the middle of the event, which is something I'd love to figure out some good way to make that interesting, compelling, but not, you know, and make it so it goes by faster.
Can you
create? I don't know if you saw my message, but you know, at Berkeley we'd have an assistant who would just be inputting on a Google Doc, so that the person executing the transactions doesn't have to be tuned into the chat or the audio.
So is that person a second host, or what is that? Like how?
I mean, in terms of helping out, yeah, but on Zoom they don't have to be.
So all right, so how do you would have a separate chat window open with a Google Doc on that the assistant would be routing into him, would be like his director saying, do this, do that, do this.
Yeah, so then instead of having to facilitate while also, you know, doing those transactions, he could just boom, boom, boom off the list.
Yeah, that could definitely help. I mean, it was helpful just that Jessica was paying attention to the chat, because it's like I was looking at two different boxes and I had it open, but I wasn't looking at it. So it's, you know, it's easy to miss things.
And the other thing too is if we did have a Google Doc, instead of having to speak up and say, hey, could you put me here? You know, people could self-assign to what room they want to go in, and then you could work off that. I don't know if that would be easier or not.
Oh, so like a secondary chat mechanism, like it's a shared Google Doc that everybody in the, wow, interesting, huh?
That's one idea. So instead of having like a stream of consciousness, I noticed the chats get buried very quickly, but this would be more of like a map of the layout.
I'd love to try that. So, and we have lots of skilled people around who could help. I've always tried to figure out how do we offload as much as possible from the host, given that they're already so overloaded to begin with. So I'd be happy to play with that.
Yeah. What's your impression of the ability of the majority of people who join these things to be familiar with Google Docs?
Well, that's another issue. So as you've seen, the Fixit coaches are older typically and less tech savvy. and some are just coming in on an iPad, which has a limited screen already.
Yeah, good
So,
point.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of trying to make it more self-navigable through Zoom. So if it's possible to just try making everyone co-hosts and throwing them into the rooms by random and then having them resort themselves, that might be an approach to try.
okay, looks like the lamp room's back. So guys, how'd it go?
Wow.
Wow!
Yeah. We need our bells to ring, but excellent. Yeah.
Lamp has a new life. Thank you, everybody. This was so awesome.
Yay!
Very nice. So what was the solution?
Just this part really needed to be replaced. So it was mine was really simple. So
Actually, both of them. The other one we had to replace the socket too, and the wire.
and the wire, yeah. The other one was the whole thing.
And did it work okay for you to have multiple lamps in one room?
Yeah, actually it did. It was very good.
Good. Okay, we're getting
Yeah, mine
lots.
was like the first step, and then Mary Ellen's was a couple steps after mine. So it was kind of like she could just take what happened with mine, and then yeah. So it worked out really well.
Good.
Heidi, could you hold up that lamp again so that the new people just showed up? Look at that. Whoa, great.
Yay.
So anyone else wanting to report back? Or?
So report back from the toaster oven. We were not successful, but we did learn a lot. So we were able to identify that the way the toaster oven works is kind of two sets of resistive heating elements. One set is working just fine and hasn't had the problem. The second set was non-functional. So Ray was able to get a voltmeter, and so we were able to test resistance through that non-functioning one, and we identified that one of the two is potentially functioning and it was resisting the way it was supposed to. The other one is not. So we left it at if she really wanted to, getting some heat resistive wire. You could bypass that second resistive element. Potentially, obviously it would involve some soldering, some bypass wire, or to not necessarily risk breaking it any further and letting it work with the two units that are already worked, with the knowledge that when those go, you've done all you can and you're good to go. So she was very happy with it. I think we learned a little bit of usage on the voltmeter, which was great. And there were some links in the chat on the heat resistive wire. So if she is interested to do that in the future, it is a pretty straightforward process, but does involve a little bit of soldering, and you do need the specific heat resistive wire. So there you go.
What if she just wanted to replace that one bad element though?
It's a Black & Decker thing. We were unable to find it's also riveted into the case. So while there may be a possibility there to do that, it would have to have another element pulled from another potential vendor, which potentially could work. We were able to find some resistive poles that were available from other toaster oven vendors, but you'd have to get the length to be exactly correct, and I'm not sure if there's a difference in maybe that's a commercial grade unit versus a residential grade unit. So potentially something there, but it's designed to die within 2.5 years, right after the warranty's up. So as is standard. So it's all right.
Okay. So this is, graduate level Fixit Clinic is this idea that we really have to look the way things are manufactured and designed now so that we can design for more durable items going forward. So our next Fixit Clinic out of UC Berkeley, we'll try to do our best to emphasize that, but moving forward in that way. Okay, any other report backs? Mary Ellen, that lamp, can we? Okay,
Well, it was working. I guess I didn't plug it back in, but success after. Did you get the rest of what I was saying? I don't know. It was working. It took two fixes, but we got it working. I just need to check the power strip, I think now. That was all sufficient in the breakout room. We got it all covered, thanks to Frank and Mark. So great times.
Great, yeah.
She once in a while. She does, I know, and it's disturbing, but.
That's excellent. 2 lamp fixes. Anyone else want to report back?
Yeah, I got my fake drawer, drawer top get removed. Yes, the drawer front. Yeah, so thank you. That's really cool.
Great. And so you're going to proceed with actually installing a drawer there now, or?
Originally, I was thinking just put back another fake front, but then I think it's Tom suggested that I can have a shelf. He share with me a website, so I may look into it. So I have an additional space for storage.
Cool. Yeah, might as well make it functional.
Yep.
I can report about the radio if the other people that had the equipment, if they want to report in, I can mention something.
Yeah.
I'm not just.
Well, I see, Tyran, do you want to speak about your receiver? We heard from Jamie earlier.
Yes. So we kind of narrowed down to a zone that I need to check on it using. They suggest that I use the dry freeze to isolate, to spread on the component, see if it makes any. Like I can identify the component that gone bad. So, but yeah, I think the good thing is that we, instead of going through every component, we got it narrowed down to a small zone that I need to check on. But since I don't have the dry freeze spray right now, so I'll need to get that and then do the testing later on my own. But
you know, Tyran, you might just happen to have a neighbor down the street who has some dry freeze.
Should I go get it now?
I'm on this call. I can't leave right now.
Okay.
But a quick question, but another quick question, Tyran. Did anyone talk to you about, is he still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Did anyone talk to you about looking for swollen capacitors? Like, do you see any?
Yes,
okay.
That was the obvious thing. So no, we didn't see any. I mean, I didn't find anything. And I tap on. People always suggest tapping on things, and I did that too. Nothing really changed the behavior of the thing. So nothing we can easily identify through the physical looking at it or tapping it. Another coach suggested that using some tracing methodology, which is slightly more complicated, but I haven't completely comprehend that method yet. But
I suggested that he could use the good channel with a little short audio cable going into his auxiliary input to use, and with a capacitor for blocking, he could go look at the stages in the power amplifier section of the bad side and see where it starts thumping. So he was basically be able to use the good channel as the signal tracer. But that's a little bit more complicated, but it's an option. But you need a little capacitor and a piece of shielded audio cable to plug into the auxiliary input of the good channel. So, and then you'd have to look around in the bad side to see where it stops popping, and that'll kind of give you an idea where to look. So that was my suggestion also on that. It's a little bit more complicated to do, but
more technical.
We all learn different ways of doing things, and sometimes you got to use whatever tool you got available. So a signal tracer would be ideal, but if you don't have one, this is what you can use. Use a good channel.
All right, and there was Jackie's radio. Did the one was static? Did that have any resolution or?
Yes.
No. What was the resolution?
Oh.
I think the resolution was not to buy such a cheap radio. That is that basically the answer you got, Frank? I'm not hearing anything.
It's an FM radio, and depending on where in the house she goes, it's got a wires that comes out the back. That's the antenna, and it's a very inexpensive clock radio, which is fine, except that and she's trying to receive a particular station, and that station isn't all that strong. So when she goes into another room, the signal goes to pieces, and there's not enough sensitivity on that radio. So I suggested that get a C Crane radio, which is much, much better, and chances are that'll give her a better opportunity to pick up the signal with a radio that is generally a good radio, rather than kind of a less expensive clock radio that she had there. So C Crane makes good radios, and that's what I suggested, that you send that one back and get one of these C Crane radios.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else wanting to report back from a breakout?
Sewing machine is still wrestling with communication issues. It looks like a basic threading issue, but there's some trouble getting the user to understand which part of the machine is which. But they'll get it. More patient people than I are still there, and they will get it eventually.
Excellent. Yeah, I see there's a lot of people in sewing still. There's quite a few still in the mechanical group. So.
Can you send me to the mechanical room?
Sure.
Because I think that's where the wobbly lamp was. There was a wobbly pole lamp.
Well, that one did get resolved. They left already, but
okay.
You can see what else is going on if you want.
Oh no, it's okay. That's all right. I was only interested in that. I was only interested in that one because I had an idea.
Yeah. What was your suggestion for the wobbly lamp?
Well, I figured it probably was threaded, and what happens is you need to basically like put some Teflon tape around the threads like you would do for a pipe, and then screw it back in again, and it would be not wobbly anymore. So it really needed some material that would boost up those threads and make it tighter. And that was my suggestion, to get some Teflon pipe thread and just go around the threads and screw it back in again, and it'd be just fine.
Well, you passed the Peter test. That was his suggestion as well.
Great minds think alike.
Oh, yeah.
I have one of those, and there's only threads at the bottom. And if it's basically, if you tighten up the threads at the bottom, it tightens up the rest of it, just pulls the rest of it down and pulls it together.
That's been my experience with those. There's a nut at the bottom, and if you grab it with a needle nose pliers, you can gently.
So guys, if people who are here, like, we're waiting for callbacks, but you're also welcome to go back into those rooms or go into new rooms if you want to look at what other things that are going on. Yeah, you don't have to stay here, or you're welcome to leave. Like, you know, it's your call.
How about if we have a little product prototype evaluation?
Call DJ.
Calling DJ.
I have a quick question about what rooms are still active.
So we have a bunch of people in the mechanical room, which had, let's see, there was the paper shredder, I think, was one of them. And it did have the wobbly lamp, but that one is repaired. So let's see, I think what was the last? I'm not sure what other items. It might be just the paper shredder, and then we have the sewing machine, and it looks like Bob Walker is hanging out in the hallway, but that's about all I know. So.
I did get the power and the bulb issue solved, and it's glowing bright.
Very nice. Yeah. Excellent.
Hey, I can go into the mechanical room there, and maybe I don't know if the paper shredder is still needs help. So if you want to send me to the mechanical room, that's fine.
Okay.
Send them to the shredder. Can you assign me as well, Howdy, please?
Sure. So I guess once you guys come back here, you can't go back yourselves. If you look at the breakout room icon, do you not have an option to?
No, there's only one room assigned. For
Okay. Yeah. So.
We weren't playing, so she's going to do it herself. It's okay.
If you go to your assigned breakout room and then leave that one, it gives you a choice of going to a different one.
Not if you're only assigned to one. Sorry.
What it does, if you're still in the breakout room, you can jump from there to another one, but you can't do it from the main area where we are now, apparently.
So did I get the right one, Danny, or are you still?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's my second screen,
Yeah.
I can activate that one. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Oh.
How many Fixit clinic have we conducted online, Peter?
This is number 12.
Really? Already?
Every 2 weeks during the pandemic, pretty much.
Oh, I didn't get any notice.
Okay.
I didn't advertise it to the local coaches because I was trying to see first if we could even make a global.
So I think both Frank and Thomas, no, I'm sorry. I got Danny. I didn't get Thomas. Did you want to go back or?
So Tyran, early on, I did send out an email to all the coaches saying we're starting these online coaches. Who wants to be a member? And a bunch of people signed up then. And so it's only recently that I decided to try the list again, see if we get more people interested, basically.
Oh, I must have missed it.
Okay, well, I'll add you now if you're interested.
Sure, yeah.
Well, again, the users can do it themselves, but they just go to the breakout room that they were assigned to. And then at the bottom, there's a breakout rooms icon there. And if you click on that one, it will give you a list of ones that you can jump to directly from the room that you were in. You don't have to rely on the moderator to do it.
Are you saying even if you're not a co-host, or I mean?
Yes. I don't think I'm a co-host, right?
I was elevating most of the coaches to co-host with the understanding that that was necessary, but
well, in that case, I don't know if I'm a co-host or not.
You are.
Aha. So I have privileges that some people don't have, huh?
Yeah, although, I think for the ease of things, it might be best if everyone had that. But was anyone else looking to be assigned back anywhere? We still have sewing and mechanical, which is probably the paper shredder.
Remember, Mark, what Uncle Ben from Spider-Man says, with great power comes great responsibility.
I don't know from Spider-Man.
It's actually Voltaire, I think, but, my generation.
I'm even more lost. At least I could recognize Spider-Man. Voltaire beats me. I'm not.
Howdy?
Yes.
Could you put me in the sewing machine room?
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi, Tomas.
Hello.
You're
Hey.
great. Okay. Okay. That's funny. Thank you for
Yeah.
being whimsical. Thank you for
Is it goofy
following my
enough?
lead. Yeah, no, it's just anything, just to break up the
Yeah.
seriousness of what we're doing here.
Yeah. That's a nice idea. So, okay, see you later.
Okay.
I'm gonna say thank you to the Lamp Room and to the Fixit Clinic and sign off.
Yeah, thank you. Glad you had success.
This was my first visit, and I had success, and I had a great time, and I learned a few things, and I didn't shock myself, Mark. So Frank's already gone, but I had a great time. Howdy, I don't know if you saw my chat to you, but I'm also a Berkeley Lab employee. So
oh, excellent.
But my backgrounds don't work in any location in my house, so I can't do the fun things. That
Yeah. And so. did you hear it through the lab?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, I'm glad.
Yeah. So, but I'm curious. I know we don't want to get more emails, but are there other ways to get announcements about this, Peter?
Yeah, I'll put you on a list. I'll make you part of the coaches list. What can I say, right? So that you can be part of it going forward.
Yeah.
I can coach for fun. That's about it. But all right, thank you all.
But also that same link that you use to register, it stays live over time, so it just shows the next upcoming event. So you can return to that,
Okay, periodically and check there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. The registration link does. So Mary Ellen, the whole goal is to disseminate these out into society. So now you're like a burgeoning Fixit coach, right? Now that you know how to rewire a lamp.
I'm a burgeoning Fixit host.
Yeah.
But I could not be a coach, but I could coach some other things.
The next time somebody needs to rewire a lamp, you're it.
Well, at least I can get them through the how to feed it through a difficult lamp base and making sure you get the screws going the right direction. But there's Frank Kaufman. Thanks, Frank, for your help in the breakout room, the lamp room.
By all means.
Yeah. So
you can make a great contribution by just telling people you can do it.
It was great because you were like, no, we've got this, and so yeah, now I have I think it's been 3 years I've been trying to get that lamp fixed by myself, by going to the in-person clinics, and then so yay, finally. Anyway, I'll let you all finish up. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.
Jackie, we've been looking at your dead window all this time. You have to report back on your umbrella. You're muted.
Sorry about that. Yes. As I was saying, they gave me a solution. This fell out from the inside of the shaft, and it is actually the spring. I was wondering what I'm just going to close that window. So yeah, I was wondering if there was a spring that had fallen out. So what they suggested was two things. I could get a piece of doweling and put a groove and attach it to that and push it up the shaft, which would also, if I got a long enough piece of doweling, create a handle, which I haven't had on that thing for a long. So all I have to do is find a piece of doweling. So and the other thing was that if I couldn't get this back up, one of the guys suggested that I could put a hook in the slot. Once I get unfortunately the spring is very strong, but once I got it up past that point, I could put a hook in the slot where this is supposed to come out. This goes up the shaft and this comes out, and that's where that's what stops the umbrella from coming back down again.
Do you know what size of dowel you need?
Dowel, I've got some now, and I don't know what size I need. Well, you're in Toronto, aren't you? Normally, yes. Yeah. Oh, I've got doweling, and if I don't have the right size, sorry, do you have lots?
Lee Valley tools.
Yes. All I have to do is get to Lee Valley. I won't take the TTC yet, so it's okay. I live in a condo with a woodworking room. And I have a stash of stuff, and I know that if I can find somebody that can give me a piece of doweling if I can't find some. I'm good. Thank you.
Or a piece of bamboo would do the trick too, if you have access to that.
Yeah, the only trouble with bamboo is it's irregular, and it might be harder to get up the shaft because the shaft is regular. But
there's a lot more wood dowel around than bamboo.
Yeah.
True.
I have bamboo in my backyard.
Oh, well, where do
Easy.
you live? San
California.
Francisco. That's not going to work. I'm in Toronto. How
Why?
often do these things run?
And so as we're scaling up, we can, the nice thing is it scales well. If we get too busy, we just start holding more and more of them, right? So that's why I'm talking to Ivy about having Repair Cafe Toronto be a co-sponsor of the Brampton one that's now scheduled for November. But if, you know, the biggest constraint so far has been curating the participants. Okay, so the chat, what I'm seeing here is I'm really trying to create must-see, can't miss, live interactive event via Zoom for you guys, for Fixit coaches, all right?
Yeah.
You are the customers for what the product we're producing here. And so I make sure that the people who sign up present well and are, you know, and are willing to sort of be on camera and have interesting stories and stuff like that. So,
Well, I
a TV show.
I could be a Fixit coach for sewing items because that's what I do in the Toronto Repair Cafe. So I'd be delighted to help somebody with some sewing issues.
Right. But remember also that Fixit coaches really should be, I want all my Fixit coaches to cross-train and know about all sorts of things, right?
Yeah. And
So,
I'm just saying that's the skill that I take to the Toronto Repair Cafe. But when I was in the breakout room, I was contributing to ideas for other people's Fixit issues. So, yeah.
Jackie, have you been on the session on Thursday evening?
No, what session is this on Thursday evening?
The Toronto Repair Cafe had a very, very interesting session. A couple of people showing how to repurpose and fix up and recreate things from older clothing. And it was
Yeah. I went to that. Yes.
It was awfully interesting.
Yes, it was very interesting. The and they're having another one coming up for I can't remember, some youth group that's Paul is hosting it. I think there's some repair.
That is for young people to show them about. My grandson is signed up for it.
Good.
He's one of the apprentice fixers at Toronto Repair Cafe.
Excellent. I can hardly wait till we get back to in person. This is good though. This is a really good fallback.
Best we can have right now.
See, I have a different attitude where I see this as a totally different type of a venue and a totally different opportunity to do something different, you know, or better than we've, in some ways, if you're going to compare it to in-person events, it's going to feel like a compromise. I decided early on not to think about it that way. Think about how do you create a totally different type of an experience and leverage what this platform provides. And look at this. I'm talking to you guys from Toronto. I would never get that opportunity, right?
Right.
The repairers, the people bringing stuff to get repaired, they get the benefit of a global, you know, brain trust to help them think about their problem, right? So that's
no. I get it, which is why I was saying, how often do you do this? I want to be in on the next one. Sign me up.
Every 2 weeks.
The advantages of doing this is very international.
Yes.
And it brings together people with different talents from all over the place, which is terrific. On the other hand, doing things this way is a lot more time consuming, a lot more difficult.
Yes.
In rewiring a lamp, which is a fairly simple procedure, and in person, we could do it in 3 minutes. This took us an hour. So there is a difference in that respect.
And one other advantage is that you can just look across the room and see what's happening on the other side of the room. Say, oh, that's interesting. I want to go over there.
Yeah. This has its advantages. One of the things that I thoroughly enjoyed at the Repair Cafe was somebody would be presented with an issue, a garment to repair, and they'd come over and they'd say, "What do you think? How would this?" So we'd collaborate, and I would do the same thing. I'd say, "Okay, I need a consultation," and we'd get together, and it wouldn't be just me fixing it; it would be a bunch of us working it out. I really miss that collaborative aspect.
So to the extent that we can create that online, I'm happy to try and do that. That's what the lounge and these, mini breakout rooms was about.
Right.
The nice thing is when we get to know each other and we learn about whose strengths and expertise is what.
Right. By the way, this is Moxie. Say
hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Moxie.
She every time I get on Zoom, she makes an appearance. Come on, get down. Oh, she just uses me as a pathway to get to my desk. Okay. So anyway, if anybody's got any suggestions on how to stop her from over grooming, you'll see her back leg is all bald. She just grooms herself, over grooms herself.
There's this kind of nasty oil we got for our cat that if you put it around that, the cat hates it and won't lick it, and then gives a chance to heal.
Where do you get something like that, Peter? The vet. In California, we have a thing called a vet. Yeah, but my vet has never suggested that. It's not. I'm assuming it's non-toxic.
Yeah, it helps. It's both. It's an antibacterial. It helps it heal, or whatever. I mean, are they licking it? Is the cat licking it to the point where it's an open wound? I mean, this is way beyond Fixit Clinic now.
No, she's not licking it to the point of an open wound. She's just licking it to the point of baldness. She's got.
Well, maybe it's itchy.
Yeah, well, this is it, and I put her. I can give her pills, but you see it's really pathetic. She just.
How about lavender essential oil mixed with some sort of carrier oil?
Oh no, I can't. I have a chemical sensitivity. If it's got any fragrance to it, it gives me a
not fragrance. It's not fragrance at all. It's essential oil directly from a plant. There's no chemicals. It's strictly plant-based.
No, it's the fragrance. It might work, but anyway, thank you for the idea.
I'm making the distinction between artificial fragrance and plant-based material.
Yeah, well, there are some plants. Anyway, I will investigate.
There's something nasty that you put in that spot that the cat doesn't want to lick that area any longer, basically.
Yeah. By the way, Peter, I love your glasses.
Both pairs?
It's dollar store cheaters for my new bifocals.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, well done.
So in the spirit of collaboration, can I ask you guys for feedback on a project I've been working on?
Well, the problem is that we've been going since 11 and it's or earlier for me and Howdy. So I'm actually thinking of how we need to wind this down, because otherwise Howdy and I will be here for all afternoon without knowing if anybody's done. So
this will take 2 minutes.
No, I know, but wait, let's do it. Now, Ryan, can you go off and take a look at what they're doing in the so there's only 2 remaining breakout rooms left at this point. Is that right, Howdy? Howdy's muted.
I could report on the sewing one.
There's 6 people on the sewing. Yeah, please report on sewing. Yeah.
Okay, so Cece was doing the sewing, and it was challenging. I think exactly what you said, Frank, and thank you for your response in chat. She was very simply teaching her with a Singer Elegant sewing machine to thread it and put the bobbin in. But it was taking a really, really long time because we really couldn't see what she was doing. So,
and she wasn't understanding very well either.
Right. There might have been a language barrier, I'm not sure. But it seemed very difficult. And Cece had an amazing amount of patience.
More than I do.
Yes. So the woman was having a hard time understanding. Plus, it was a hard time. It was hard to see. She had her iPad there as a camera, and but she was moving it with her hands, and a lot of the things she needed 2 hands.
Yeah. Well, her husband was there holding the camera, but it was still waving around. So
I didn't realize that.
So let's save her. So maybe let's save Cece. Maybe Howdy, can you figure out a way to basically just end that room? Like there's a way to set a timed shutdown for that room, right? But we should probably Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if someone Naren, do you mind going in and asking how much longer they? Well,
no. Tell them we need to wrap this up. Okay, if they're the last breakout room, we need to wrap it up. So,
hey, Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. I just responded to your cooperation request. I sent you my email address in the chat.
Oh, right.
So I could do the broadcast message saying, try to wrap up in 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, or do you want me to? If you want to send me in there, I'll
just do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the last breakout room, right?
No, there's like more than 10 people still in the mechanical room with the shredder, I think, unless they got shredded.
I gave up on that. I left. Oops, there's Moxie's face again.
Maybe
So
there's
I just
in there.
sent that. Has anyone been in or had a sense of how it was going in there recently?
She seems to have a burned out circuit in the shredder, and I don't know whether they figured out any solution for that or not.
They are trying to bypass the circuit board.
I see. Yeah. Well, Mark, go ahead with your idea that you wanted feedback.
This is actually an idea born out of doing in-person Fixit clinics. I got tired of digging through my bag of tools, so I made this. You see that?
Yes.
And somebody gave me a bunch of post-industrial felt scraps. And this moves, because part of the idea is to make it adjustable, because if you sew everything down, your tools won't necessarily fit what the fixed gaps are. Here's another version of it. This is just rolled up.
Mm-hmm.
And it works really well. You just stuff them in there.
Yep, it's good.
I like that idea.
So
very nice.
Thank you. Would you pay money for it, or do you just like it? Yeah.
How much do you like it, right?
Well, I'm a designer. I need to make some money, and I may have a continuing source of this felt. I don't know what their level of supply is, but I thought, well, why not?
I would be willing to pay money for something like that if it was. I'm assuming that's just a rough prototype that you would be working. You'd finish you'd get something more. Anyway.
More finished.
Yeah, it definitely has potential, and I think it has marketing potential. It appeals to me.
Okay. Do you think it needs to be bigger?
It depends on your tools.
Yeah. Right. Well, this is the size it is because this is the size of one scrap of material. Maybe two that I sewed together. Yeah, this is two, but.
How well does it self-stand or fall over? I mean.
It stands up pretty well.
Yeah.
But obviously, if I put two of these together, it'd be way more stable. So
that would make a nice insert for one of those. I've got a tool caddy that's got a big square open inside space, and it's a waste of time because anything you put in falls over and it gets lost.
Right. Well, that's sort of what I'm thinking, because there's 1,001 people who make bags and caddies and stuff. And to me, I have plenty of bags and caddies, and I just hate digging through piles of stuff. And the original idea was to make a travel toiletries kit and a thing to
Skippy, you idiot! Ew! I'm going down to fix it.
You're going down to fix what? You're broadcasting to everybody now. We can't hear you.
We had a problem. We couldn't get her to walk through the process, but we're going to go and handhold her in San Leandro. Social distancing handholding,
Yeah, this is a problem that could have been solved in 4 minutes in person, right?
Yeah, that's something. It's just because people do not. I have a really great. Do you want me to send you the common words that I'm using from now on about parts of the sewing machine. There's a
Yes.
standardized list that I'm using now.
The thingy that moves up and down with the hole in it?
Yes, I'm reinforcing it with.
Yeah, it's next to the thingamajig.
No. So that's why I give I say, see the logo?
No, it's not next to the thingamajig. It's behind the thingamajig.
Behind the thingamajig.
So
Peter,
I do
I'm
have
going
I have a list of the preferred terms to call the things. If we all know what the items are called, we will communicate better.
Peter, I'm going to wish you farewell because it's now gone past 9 p.m. here in England, and I need to be doing other things now. Oh, someone's got a cat. Hello, cat.
That's
I've just come back from the shredder room where we've got a shredder and parts, and true to form, we found burnt out diodes, or a burnt out diode. Another one, I think they're infectious, these burnt out diodes. And we've left Rebecca with the thing in bits with the suggestion that she comes back to the next session and we'll try and pick up and carry on and talk her through possibly repairing this, but she'll need someone with some soldering experience to get alongside her. I think the others are coming back as well, so I'll leave them to talk you through it all, and from this side of the planet I shall bid you farewell.
All right. Thank you.
Farewell
Yeah.
to across the pond, Brian.
Oh, Joe's still there. Well, Joe will represent the English side because she stays up later than I do.
I do, yes. Yeah, I've just come out of the breakout room.
Okay, all the best.
Yeah. See you, Brian.
All right. Anyone else want to continue the report outs? I think we heard from the sewing machine and a little bit about the shredder. So is there anything else to add to that?
Could I have Alice's, so sewing machine Alice and San Landreo, I think? Could I have that email just to email the last little bits of advice? Because she popped off before I could quite finish speaking to her.
Yeah, I can arrange that. I'll check with her and make sure she's okay, and then I'll sort of make it go back and
Absolutely, yeah,
forth.
brilliant. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
record it for you. I'll put it on my little headset and go down there, and so you can have a fresh. You can actually see what's going on.
Fair enough. Yeah. It's just that she logged off just as I did that last bit there.
By the way, Joe and Cece, Sewing Machine Whisperer, meet Sewing Machine Whisperer.
Yay!
You get out who's who.
Yeah.
And as usually I have found that most of the time the problem with the sewing machine is between the machine and the chair.
Exactly.
So with our repair cafe here in England, I've done since lockdown. I think I've done upwards of a dozen sewing machines on the phone or just by emailing and saying try this first.
Yeah,
and I think only one was absolutely broken.
Yeah, I have so many machines. I go through them. I've been going through them. I think I've touched one like that just recently, and it's like I'm going. And the first thing is I put the bobbin so I can see if it's level, if I got the right one. Okay, that's the right one. That's the right needle. So it's a lot of understanding that I'm going to put out a whole thing that says the names that I am using to refer to the parts of the machine, because if we all refer to the parts of the machine the same way, we'll get in this mantra of understanding what goes wrong along the way.
It's tricky because you were talking about a bobbin race, and I'm thinking, what the hell are you talking about? It's bobbin a bobbin case to me.
And it is that simple.
So, America and the UK divided by common language.
But the bobbin case goes into the bobbin race.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I'd call it the mechanism, but there you go.
Yeah, and so the because the drop-in bobbins don't have a bobbin case, they just have the race and the hook that goes around, and the relation
ones from the side. Yeah.
And there's another woman that's up in that area. She's in your neck of the woods, and she like hacks old sewing machines so they can do the thing that she wants. And so it's like she's doing vintage singers with double needles and drilling them out so she's really kind of cool. I think she's like my sewing obsession. I think that's what she's called. And she's got some really great machines.
The oldest machine I think I've come across is I volunteer in a charity shop, and I do their sewing machines, of course. And we had an old Singer with a hand crank, and it had the shuttle bobbin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And amazingly, it came with the instruction manual. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So I had to photograph it for my own reference, because when you see how it works.
Yeah.
And then one of my repairs for the repair cafe was one of those. So I sent her the pages. She did it herself. It's brilliant. Yeah.
So there was
And
a
most machines are pretty standard. There's they don't vary that much. And once you've seen a few, you kind of get the feel.
They all have to do the same thing to operate. They have to form a stitch in a certain manner in order to be a lock stitch. And that's what's the great thing is they're just difference of leather. If there's a lever or a cog or a belt and a belt or a ratchet.
But they're so sturdy. I mean, some of these are like 60, 50 years old.
Oh,
and
I
they
sew
still
on
work.
mine. Yeah, mine is a 50-year-old machine because it was born the same year I was, and then my
I've got one older than me.
yeah, the one I sew on at my mother's is older than me and my mother. It's a 100-year-old machine that I sew on all the time, and it just purrs like a kitten. So
So a month or so ago, there was a machine, I think from Australia, that was, the mechanism was frozen.
And
Did
he
that
got
ever
it
get
fixed.
resolved?
Yes, he got it fixed.
And what was the fix?
WD-40
I
sprayed
was going to
all
say
over.
that WD-40.
It was, okay.
Magic
okay.
juice.
Yep,
Yes,
yep.
only for cleaning, not for
I understand. No, I've heard the message.
It was seized up, and that's how we got it.
Yeah.
We got it working. Then,
That's
great.
Then it had to be properly lubricated.
Great. Thanks.
I have a little sewing machine, which is you can look it up. It's called the Essex. Essex Engineering Company Mark 1 or 2, and it's about this big. Yeah, it's about A4 size, and it doesn't have a bobbin. It has a loop. So you put one.
So it's a chain. It's a chain stitch.
It's a little chain stitch, yeah.
And that's
brilliant.
Yeah, it is, and that's how the first one started. If you look at if you go online and on YouTube, you can find the Secret Lives of Sewing Machine. They tell you all about how the formation of the stitches happened and who did it, what, and how they got it going. Because Demonier was the one that used it for making soldiers' outfits, and we still use it for making dog bags, dog food bags. And
you're right, actually, yeah, because it's a very simple stitch. So I use it for instance, my daughter had a rip about this long in her skirt.
Yeah,
and it was an unusual color, and I didn't want to
do a whole bobbin.
wind a bobbin, and it was brilliant.
Yeah,
in fact, if you want to have a look for me, Brian, and Phil's Repair Cafe, we're Chailey Repair Cafe in the UK.
And if you put it in the chat, then everybody can look at it. That'd be great.
Okay, yeah. There's a video of me demonstrating the machine, and there's loads of fantastic photos of repairs that we've done, because we're like 3 years old, I think now. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cece, could you do me a favor and put in some of those like the words like race and stuff in the chat, so that
I actually have the file. I'm taking it from an old white manual it's very efficient, and I'm going to actually put the picture up and transport it as a file up there. So if I can find where my booklet went, it's somewhere.
Well,
around
you don't have to do it today, but
yeah,
if you get a chance sometime.
If you want to take down, you saw my number, and I can put also my email address down there, and you can hit me up that way too.
Well, I usually come to the chat, so to the Fixits.
Cece, you were referencing in the sewing machine breakout room a tutorial. Could you put that in the chat too?
You're muted.
Okay, so I think Cece will do that, but we have some more people coming back. Any more report backs?
Yeah. We started out as the mechanical room. We ended up as the electrical room.
So I was bouncing between rooms, and I went to the mechanical room, kind of in the middle, and I was like, they're talking about circuit boards and resistors and yeah. And you guys, I mean, the thing was, you guys were like electrical wizards, so I was really impressed.
So what we have going on, so we had a torchiere lamp with stripped threads that hold the tubes together. Happen to have my props, bed threads. I'd be glad to transport these across the planet. Can't do that. So she's going to use some epoxy, put that together. That'll be cool. We had the drawer front that wanted to come out of the front of the kitchen sink, and with good pictures and some thought process, got that thing popped out, and they're gonna go replace that and maybe even add a nice tilted tray shelf, which I played with in my kitchen, which is cool. And then the shredder, Rebecca's shredder, which we were all convinced it was just put some canned air in the sensor and blow the schmutz away and it's gonna work. Nope. We think there's a fab electrical component that the whole sensor circuit isn't working. So it runs in reverse, but not forward, and ignores the sensor. So
then it overheated.
Right. And the to be determined, if we could be there, we would take these jumper wires and jump across the relay or the switches or something and see if we can get the motor to run it forward. And maybe it would be only a semi-automatic shredder instead of a fully automatic shredder. But Rebecca's going to hold on to this until we can get together with real live folks with their soldering irons and tools. And I said, I'm looking forward to driving from Boulder to Santa Fe to go see Meow Wolf and some of my buddies who moved down there to build Meow Wolf. And then we'll do a real coffee shop shredder repair thing. But this is an interesting problem because most of the time shredders are mechanical problems, and this was an electrical problem. So stump the chumps.
Thank you so much.
That is the opposite of normal. Most electrical engineer told me that most electrical problems are mechanical problems.
We challenged the manufacturer to do a replacement because the actual components burnt up, and I thought was not a good signal. So it could be also recalled. So that's one of the other things is Rebecca's going to check to see if there was a recall on the unit.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I had a small repair victory earlier this week. I had a nice Swiss gear backpack that was given to me because it had a busted zipper. Not really broken, but the zipper slides and the main zipper were broken. So I wrote to Swiss Gear on their website and heard nothing. A couple months later, I got annoyed and wrote to them again. Finally, after about half a dozen emails back and forth, they said, oh, we'll send you a 50% off coupon so you can buy another one. I said, no, you completely missed the point. I want to fix it. Oh, okay, we'll send you some zipper slides. So eventually I will get those in the mail after I nagged them. I waited a week and nagged them, hey, I haven't seen these yet. Oh, okay, maybe we'll actually take it to the post office this time. So that will be an easy fix and I'll have a nice backpack. All I have to do is put the slides on and sew the end shut and it's fixed.
Anybody else have a report back? Rebecca, you've been trying to get a word in. Did you want to show us the?
I got lots of words in while we were messing with my shredder, and it was, it's not fixed, but I learned a lot and it was fun, and I think it will eventually be fixed.
Thank you for being a good sport about it.
Oh gosh, thank you for having this. I went to an in-person Fixit clinic here in Santa Fe and fixed a lamp, and it was great. It was a really good experience, so I'm a fan.
Thrilled to have you. You're welcome anytime.
Pardon?
Are you a more confident fixer now?
Oh yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I found over here is that being able to fix something that I know about is great, and then because of the whole fixing, mending, repairing ethos, so I fixed my dishwasher, I nearly fixed my loo, but just having a go. And when I've been speaking to people on the phone, it's like you can do this. I will talk you through it. And so many people managed, and I just love that because I think a lot of it is about confidence. Very definitely. Yeah. And Google helps.
And YouTube.
Absolutely, yes. No, my friend has a washing machine that when it's finished, it plays this ghastly tune, and it was really annoying her. So we found it on YouTube and turned it off instantaneously.
So Howdy, is there anybody left in a breakout room? Is everybody left
No,
here?
I closed all the breakout rooms, but yeah, they all moved out. So.
Okay, any other report backs?
I'm seeing that Rotini is in the waiting room.
I let him or her back in, I thought.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny
Click admit. I had that show up on mine too, and I just clicked admit and it went away. Maybe I admitted them.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that we even enabled the waiting room, but yeah, well, thank you, everyone. I realize it was logistically a challenge with so many people and coaches and items, but I think everyone did great, and I appreciate everyone's efforts and look forward to doing it again.
So guys, think of this as a big Fixit coaches party, you know, for a global party for repairers that the general public's invited to try to find out about and try to crash. Okay, that's. And for those of you who came with broken things, remember that the goal here is to assimilate you as part of our merry band of fixers around the planet and deploy this ethos of repair out to everybody. So
going back though, this, you know, we've got a lot done. I think it's worked well. Probably the biggest struggle is just setting up the rooms. And I think you've made an attempt with this hallway to put more flexibility in. I'm just wondering, is there a possible way where you could actually have the rooms already set up before we get started, and then in mass put everybody into the hallway and we pick the room we want to go into and we just join? In other words, is there like instead of every individual, you just put the whole group in the hallway and then we go into the rooms?
Can I
just
say
a thought.
something?
You have to make everybody a co-host, and normally that would be a perfectly safe thing to do, but if you happen to have a Zoom bomber and you made them a co-host, that would be just bad. But
what would they do if you know, somebody like that was?
Post rude images.
Oh,
Apparently churches that have had bombers posting pornography. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Political screeds.
I agree with you. I'd like to have a way that you have a mode that would allow participants to freely wander through rooms without being co-hosts, because I think there's I host all kinds of events on Zoom where I want to use breakout rooms, and if you make it more like an actual, you know, real live human event, then let them wander. So that'd be a good feature to add to Zoom. Gosh, they must have bazillions of dollars right now.
Or like hot buttons. If you have the room set up and you have hot buttons to go to,
yeah,
and you pick the hot button you want to go to.
Right.
I'm not sure how many of you guys have heard of Discord before, but Aaron and I wanted to bring that up as a suggestion. It's an alternative platform. It'll have everything here that you guys want, so we'll be able to easily manage privileges and permissions for fixers versus clients. People can easily switch rooms. There's video chat options, a more formidable chat as well, so we can actually share pictures. We can't share graphics in this chat. The only crux is, I'll share the link here. The only crux is people are going to need an account. Unlike with Zoom.
Are you a tech coordinator? Because I've been in other big, I've been in Zoom meetings where there's been like 300 people, and having a dedicated person to coordinate everything, but not taking part in the conference really works.
Yeah, it's usually
Is that a Wayne or you, Alvin?
I can help with that. Sure, that's no problem. Both Aaron and I have actively used the platform, so we can lend a hand with that.
Yeah.
So when you say people need an account, is it free? Like if we invite?
Oh yeah, it's free.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's free.
So Peter and I need to talk. The Boulder You Fixit Clinic is supposed to host in a couple of weeks. I'd be up for an experiment with a new platform. If you want to work together on that, I'd teach me this Discord. I use Discord from some other thing I'm in. I forget what it is, but I haven't used it much. So, yeah, I'm all for
well,
that.
Aaron and Alvin are scheduled to do one in November, so we could do it then too.
That sounds
if you guys,
good.
If you want to try and use Discord as the platform for that.
Yeah, we could look at that for sure.
Okay.
Does
I know
does Discord save the chats and artifacts and things like that, like Slack does?
Yeah, you can. It's very similar to Slack if anyone's used Slack before.
Yeah. Because that'd be nice if you join a room late, and you want to jump in there and say, "That's it, fix the capacitor." It's like, okay, 10 minutes ago we had this discussion, so you could read it, right? That'd be handy. But
has everybody updated to the latest Zoom? Because I when I was fiddling around earlier on today, I saw there was a Zoom 5, which I haven't updated to. Do you think, has anybody updated to Zoom 5, and has that got more features? You're saying you have, Peter?
It's just maintenance. It's just, it's not, I don't know that it's bug fixes and closing little security holes and things, right, Aaron?
They've got a very long list of features they'd like to add, but they're trying to stabilize the platform, work on security first. And so these things will be rolling out, I think, at some point in time, but we shouldn't hold our breath that it's happened soon. And just a brief shout out to Howdy. You did a great job at the front end. This was by far, I think, the most efficient, despite the fact there was a ton of things to be fixed. I think that process went really well. So thanks for doing that and keeping people, focused on that so we could get to the harder part, of course, which was the breakout room site.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, but I was still slow, and I feel like people were waiting around, so I apologize if you were languishing.
You did a super job, but we know how hard you were working and just trying to figure out if there's a way to make it simpler for you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if another platform works better, that's great. If it stays with Zoom, I think, just dumping everybody into the rooms and having them move themselves would be the most ideal if that could work. But
And so I've heard, though, that you mentioned about having to be a co-host, and then there's some risk in that. One thing is, could somebody be a sergeant at arms, and if they see anything, they can kick the person off, if anything goes on? Because if that's the risk, that might be one way of taking care of it. And make
so we've had snipers in here, okay? So Jessica and Wayne, there's a bunch of us who are co-hosts looking out for stuff like that. Tom.
So if you made everybody a co-host, then if you saw that, you could immediately take them out, couldn't you? I mean,
who would want to bomb a repairers chat?
Yeah.
I can understand people posting pornography in church meetings and other political stuff, but hey, we're just guys that repair stuff.
Yeah. Well, we'd all be surprised, but that could happen. I guess the other question logistically is, can you can you kick out a co-host?
Can you kick out a what?
A co-host.
The host can demote them.
I think that's, I think it's maybe a two-step process. Yeah.
Yep.
Is there a way that we can experiment with this platform? Are there any people that Aaron and I can get in touch with from the Fixit Clinic, and we can set some time up and experiment with Discord? Because I really think that this can solve all of our problems here that we're discussing right now.
I'm up for an experiment. This is Wayne.
I'm up for it too. I mean, I do have some concern about migrating everybody to a new platform. Zoom had become the default platform of choice for the pandemic. But I'm open to new opportunities for something different.
I can assure you it's much easier. It's literally
the nice
click and
thing
drag.
too about Discord is that you can sort of archive previous sessions and then go back and refer to it later if you want.
So this is Bob. I'd be willing to help on trying something out.
Another mode of this is, hey, we have a Discord server for global repairing, and maybe you have some scheduled events, but maybe it's just always open. And you wander in and check out to see who's there, right? So it's more of a, the cafe style. Like, I'm going to bring my stuff to the cafe because there's this thing going on. So it's less planning, a little more millennial. I know that my students and my kids.
And pipe in on that, like as just someone a little younger here. A lot of kids these days are using Discord. Yeah, so it's a great way we can improve our younger demographic for these sort of events moving forward.
Yeah, no, and I think it's I don't really want to sign up for something that's a month in advance, but I might show up if I feel like it. So, yeah, I don't know. I get discussions on the Facebook page and the email for the Boulder Youth Fixit Clinic, and my response is, oh, well, go check out the page of virtual Fixit clinics and sign up for that. And you've sort of lost the immediacy because they have a thing and they like to work on it now. And there happen to be some people that were interested around the whole planet. Maybe you could get something done, without that. But yeah, so having a server and having a lounge to sort of hang out in, I don't know. How many of those things have? I have like 85 Slack channels that will beep at me all day if I let them. Do I want a repair one? Maybe I do. I don't know. That's the question, right?
So do you guys with Fixit or repair cafes, are you all normally before the COVID-19, were you physical cafes in like, community spaces? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And people come in, have a cup of tea or coffee or whatever. So yeah.
In my case, we're hosted at the Boulder Public Library in a makerspace every 2 months, and then other random things, including, restaurants and bars and outdoor parks, whatever works. Yeah.
If you want to look at a neat YouTube video, just look up News Repair Cafe, and they came to our repair cafe in New Paltz a couple of years ago and did a nice 3-minute video on a repair cafe, and NBC News aired on NBC News. So that's, if you want to look at that, that's kind of fun. I happen to be in it, so just wanted to put a plug in for myself.
We really love the social connectivity.
I'm broke for somebody, right?
Right, but guys, we don't have access to this now. And then Fixit Clinic was always about deploying the ethos of repair, was trying to de-emphasize fixing it for people as opposed to empowering people to be involved in their own repair. So what I like about this platform, the remote platform, is that forces the issue. We can't help them in person. Yeah. They have to be, and it's going to attract a different demographic and a different audience going forward. I'm looking at this whole conversation about Discord, and one of my concerns is that let's think long and hard about who's the real customer we're trying to, what are we really trying to accomplish with this? I think at this point, the planet's in crisis, and we need to move upstream as fast as possible to cut off the source of this consumption, but to fundamentally look at the way consumers are consuming and figure out some way to do some sort of wholesale mindset around that.
Empower people to give them the confidence to repair stuff, because there's not a lot of that around.
Right.
Certain people have, and people think, oh, my ironing board is broken. I will throw it on the tip and buy a new one. Let's look at the ironing board. No, I'm just looking because I've got an ironing board over there. But just very, very simple things, because a lot of it is incredibly simple. It's maybe a stitch. It's maybe a button sewn on.
We're trying to convey these critical thinking and troubleshooting skills to everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm never about free repair. Okay, I don't want people to show up at a Fixit clinic expecting that someone's going to fix it for them. I want them to understand they have to be an active participant in affecting what's going to happen.
So, Peter, I think
they're not the customer.
One of the things
I've never encountered anybody that said, "Fix this for me, and I'll come back and get it." Everybody's always been willing to participate.
I have over and over and over again.
Well, I've found those people too, and it turns out they really probably need a different kind of help. And so we're at the public library. We actually have resources. Say, we might want to talk to this person because we have homeless people and whatever. I think, Peter, in terms of who the audience is, my sort of refocusing during COVID is, so I have a lot of choices of what I'm going to do with my life, right? I'm retired. And what's your catchphrase, Peter? I am no longer...
unencumbered by the profit motive.
Unencumbered by the profit motive. Oh, you bottom line, right? So I've been finding that the most satisfying things I can do are stuff that help other people, right? So I'm teaching kids and college kids. And so if we can empower more people to be repair coaches and they can help people, I think that feeling is awesome, right? It's like I'm coping because I'm doing something to help other people. Right now, I could use some advice on how to put down tile floor because I'm about to to the next phase of my nasty project. So I'm looking on Google and learning. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna mess up royally, I know, and I'll recover. But
ceramic tile?
What?
Ceramic tile?
Porcelain, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question is—
I can help you.
Yeah, my wife likes the 12 by 24 tile.
Ouch.
But I have a little 7-inch saw, so I don't think that's gonna fly. So I'm trying to convince her 12-inch tile is good. Anyway, but
Go to a tool library and get a tile cutter.
True.
Have a tool library in the States? Wow, I love it.
We have a tool library in Boulder. It's awesome. Peter has one in Berkeley.
Wow.
We have hard places here, but I don't know if it's the same.
Yeah.
So Peter, go back to.
Here's a tool library in Toronto too.
Nice.
So guys, I think we've kept Howdy here long enough, right? I mean,
I'm
so
fine.
we're junkies. We could talk all afternoon. Right?
One final thought, Peter. I think rather than switching platforms, maybe we could configure the thing so that it's smaller groups, so that the process of doing the breakout doesn't have to have as many people broken out, if you will. And so I think there's a real advantage to having something that's universal and easily accessible. The bottleneck seems to be if you have too many people on at one time, it just takes a long time, and we don't want people to get frustrated in waiting to be able to participate.
Right.
Yeah, or we start something in parallel. I'm open to any sorts of ideas around that.
Or simply have them more often. If there's enough interest, do it more often. The other thing about having a more casual one, and I don't see why it wouldn't make sense to have both of these in parallel. If we want to use, what's the other one? Discord, use that as the informal one and have this one have Zoom as the formal one. And just have them more often so there's less of a load on the Zoom one.
I think it'd be interesting to enable sort of a one-on-one spontaneous thing, like, hey, can anybody help me with my waffle iron? Hey, I'm available at 1 o'clock. I know a little about waffle irons. And you find a way to meet and do that. And other people want to join and watch. Awesome, fun, but without the central periodic planning. In addition to that, the other extreme is North Carolina people are doing these videos essentially, right? Where we're not going to actually do hands-on repair. We're going to demonstrate sewing machines or what kind of glue or whatever the heck it is. So that's all really cool. I think the whole range is possible, right? From more instructional, more planned periodic events, and then more spontaneous events. I think there's a whole collection of possibilities here. So let's continue experimenting.
Wayne, what we do here with our Repair Cafe is people email Brian, who's the coordinator, and they say, I have this repair. And then he throws it out to the group that he thinks the people who to repair. And then we come back and say, yeah, I can do that. And then he connects us with that individual. And we can either phone call, email, or Zoom according to what's needed. So it's very individual. And that works extremely well.
And you just set up the timing of it based on who's available when? There's no formal schedule or anything?
No, it's just so Brian just throws it out to so I'm on the fabrics team,
right?
And he'll send it to us, to the 6 of us, and I'll say, yeah, I can take that on, and then he copies.
Right. So do you negotiate between yourselves about what time you're going to do it?
No, all it is. So basically, most of my life activities have disappeared because of the virus. So I'm available most of the time. So Brian will say, this is introduce Lois to me. This is Lois. This is her problem with her sewing machine.
Right.
I email Lois.
And once you get past that point, how do you decide when you're going to do it?
Well, what I do is I email Lois with my recommendations about fixing a sewing machine. So cleaning it, threading it, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then
okay, guys, we gotta let's let Howdy go. We'll continue. You always want to end the party while everyone's still having a good time. That way, they'll want to come back. So,
Peter, it sounds like you're the one that wants to leave the most.
I've been on this since what 10 this morning. Howdy and I've been here since 10:20 this morning.
Oh
so
my.
Hey, before we have people start dropping off here, sorry, can I have some people who are interested in testing out Discord and we can set up a time for that?
Alvin, everybody email me and we'll route that. I'll route it.
Okay.
We'll route it through me.
I don't think I have your email, Peter. Do you want to
Okay,
drop that
get
in
it from
chat here?
Aaron.
I'll give it to
Get it
you,
from
Alvin.
Aaron. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Aaron.
Okay. Okay, goodbye, folks. So everybody, let's thank Howdy again. Thank you, Howdy.
Thanks, Howdy.
Okay.
Thank all of you. Thank you.
Howdy, save the chat. Save the chat and the recording before you shut down.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this going to be available on video later?
Yeah, we posted to the Global Fixers group.
All right, because there's somebody I know needs to see it, and he needs to know how to work without his ego. And I think this is a perfect way to show him. All right.
Okay. Okay, bye, everybody. Thanks so much for being contestants.
Thanks,
Bye.
Peter. See ya.
Thank you, Howdy, as always.
Yeah, thank you, Peter.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Howdy. I'm sorry that dragged on and on and on.
No, that's okay. I don't mind. So I saved the chat, and I guess I can stop recording at this point. Oops.
And you can, if you can upload it to YouTube and just send me a private link, or if you want to make it available to me, I'll upload it to the Fixit Clinic YouTube, but I make it a private link so that only people who know the link can see it, right?
Okay.
So it's not like super public published, but
yeah.
Thank you again. This was great. I mean, it was really wonderful. Given what we're dealing with, it's really amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that the repair part of it, I mean, it's always a little blind when you don't see what's going on in the rooms, but it felt like we had pretty big groups in the rooms, which I'm kind of curious how people felt that worked in terms of if there was a good rotation of contributions, or if it was dominated by a few people, or how it ended up working. But
yeah, there's always going to be that. You can, like, I'm the classic micromanager, so I could, the fact that people stayed around was a good sign to me.
Yeah, no, I was impressed how long they stuck with some of those. So yeah. Great. Well, thank you, Peter.
Okay, shut it down anytime now. Bye,
so,
Tom. Bye, Rotimi. Bye, Cohen.
So you were saying with the recording, I mean, I stopped it, but is it not automatically saved? Do I have to?
I think as you leave, it asks to save the record. It still says I'm recording. Oh, I may be recording on my side.
Yeah, I saw you had a separate record icon. I turned mine off.
Okay. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, right now. Oh, recently. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think when you shut it down, it will ask me, I think when it shuts down, it says save recording, or recording's being saved, or something like that. It takes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you
See
again.
you later. Bye.
Okay. Bye.